Breaking. Welcome to today's headline. Uzodinma, Okorocha sponsors of insecurity in Imo, IPOB says. Uzodinma, Okorocha sponsors of insecurity in Imo, IPOB says. To my dear listeners, from wherever you're listening from, stay tuned as I read today's news. The group emphasized that the politicians were behind the recruiting and arming of hoodlums terrorizing the region. The indigenous people of Biafra has alleged that former Imo State Governor Okorocha and incumbent Hope Uzodinma are sponsors of insecurity in the state. This was contained in a statement by Emma Powerful, the group's media and publicity secretary, on Saturday. The group emphasized that the politicians were behind the recruiting and arming of hoodlums terrorizing the region. The statement reads, "With the great family and movement of the indigenous people of Biafra, under the command and leadership of our Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, wish to draw the attention of the world that based on the unfolding security issues in Imo State, it has become very obvious that Governor Hope Uzodinma and his predecessor, Okorocha, are the sponsors of the so-called unknown gunmen perpetrating insecurity in Imo State for some time now. We have always explained that unknown gunmen were created by selfish and greedy politicians entangled in political war, but many people did not believe us. Uzodinma and Okorocha first went into alliance in their desperation to dust Emeka Ihedioha, and they did a lot of abnormal things to achieve that selfish goals. Soon afterwards, they fell apart and resorted to other heinous schemes, including, but not limited to, recruiting and arming hoodlums to outsmart each other. Their calculation was to blame the nefarious activities of their evil boys on IPOB and Eastern Security Network operatives, an erroneous narrative many gullible minds that Ito believed until the abduction of Okorocha's son-in-law, Çøñfess, in the church by Uzodinma's hitmen. Many didn't believe politicians were the masterminds of the insecurity and activities of unknown gunmen in Imo State and other parts of Biafra land. Imo youth, men and women of good conscience, must prepare to hold Hope Uzodinma, Okorocha, and Çøñfess accountable for bringing pain and sorrow to rule Imo State. We have endured for so long here, and we must get ourselves ready now to ask these criminals and their collaborators where they kept many missing Imo youths. They should prepare to account for all the innocent promising youths killed by unknown gunmen and police in Imo State. At the peak of this barbarity, everybody was pointing accusing fingers at ESN and IPOB, but we know we have no hands in these atrocities. God exposed them recently because IPOB prayed to the Almighty to expose those behind those numerous attacks and killings, essentially the two traditional rulers killed by these hoodlums operating in the region. These vampires created those who killed Dr. Chike Akoyili and tagged it on ESN, while ESN operatives had no issue with the late Dr. Chike Akoyili. It is now obvious and open to all and sundry that the numerous killings in the region were masterminded by Hope, Uzodinma, and Rocha's Okorocha. How did Imo citizens offend them to warrant the bloodletting? Hope Uzodinma created his own unknown gunmen to implicate ESN, and hyper volunteers and Rocha's Okorocha and Uche Wosu created their own to demonize Hope Uzodinma. Unfortunately, innocent citizens and youth of the state have been at the receiving end. These vampires must not go free. The Inspector General of Police should be professional and reasonable enough to rise to the occasion. He should thoroughly investigate all these mind-boggling revelations from these strange bedfellows. It is now clearer that this bunch of criminals were the ones who murdered Alhaji Gulak Ahmed at Imo Airport Road 7 months ago. They quickly, after that dastardly act, blamed ESN for their atrocity. Even without any investigation, we denied any involvement, but many didn't believe us. Today, we are vindicated. Again, the IGP should investigate and interrogate the police officer called Shaba, heading Uzodinma's hitmen at the government house, Owerri. To my dear listeners, now we've come to the end of our today's news. Please do drop by at the comment section and let us know what your view is all about. Thank you.